Start recording. Well, guys, I seem to have gotten some issues with OBS worked out by downloading the latest portable version. So, we're diving into Futurama, and what we have is the contest. So this, we're going to be working in OpenTunes because I want to be able to properly share data with Darren T. He's kind of working on the front end of the show as far as I know. So I'm just going to jump to somewhere towards the back, which is going to be this scene called the contest. And so we've just got this little section of the script right here. The gang of idiots are standing around as big-bootied contestants of various species walk about. Hermes says, "Ah, sweet freedom!" And Zoidberg says, "Oh, and the food, the food." Leela makes a comment, which I can't do Leela's voice, and the professor's like, "Ah, so many questions!" And that's pretty much the shot. So how are we going to name that? Well, in OpenTunes, what I decided to do is I want to enforce the proper ordering of the shots. So I'm going to name it 22 because this is on page 22, dash the scene name, dash the shot number. So it's page 22, the contest, shot 01. Okay, so that's why I called this 22, the contest 01. That way when these scenes are all saved on the hard drive, they will actually appear in the order that they appear in the script. So that makes sense to me. I should say actually that's technically not true, because if the next scene is alphabetically, it's after the contest, but it's before the letter T alphabetically, then actually those will. Yeah. So anyway, call me an idiot. The solution to that is going to be to sort my files based on their creation date, maybe? Well, no, that doesn't make sense either. We'll figure it out downstream. When in doubt, put it off. Just put it off for another day, right? So anyway, I want a pencil. A pencil would be good. And this is just a pencil test. So the gang of idiots refers to everybody. Okay, so Hermes, Zoidberg, Leela, the professor, and actually Bender and Fry are on site as well, and then Zap arrives, but that's kind of like at the end of the shot. I guess he would walk in from off camera. So basically, this is your shot, and now what we got to do is figure out what the framing of this is going to be. Well, and this is, this is a bit of an interesting question. We've got this contest going on, and in my mind, I'm just going to kind of play with this a little bit. As I'm thinking about this, in my mind, what I'm actually seeing in my head is something. Let's go. I'm actually seeing a situation. I'm just totally spitballing here, by the way, folks. I'm completely making this up as I go on. I'm seeing a situation where you have this arena, okay, and in my mind, as I say, okay, so let's go like this. Okay, so we would say this would be our stage, and then what we would have here is some sort of, probably digital, sign indicating, kind of the event that's going on. So I think, these big banners might be a bit much, but in other words, they're kind of large. But let's just keep playing with it. All right, so if we had this follow the same arc as the bowl, then we might see something like this, and then maybe one here as well. Okay. So the idea would be maybe you'd have a bit of a push in, a slight push in, and I don't know if we would hear some sort of announcement over a loudspeaker. Just for fun, we'll pretend that they've got old school loudspeakers here. But obviously there would be sound system distributed throughout the place. Okay, so I'm going to say that's like an establishing shot. So then we've got to cut to in here, and I'm literally going to just what I'm doing is I'm really trying to um, envision what I'm feeling in my mind. And what I'm seeing is I'm seeing the whole gang just kind of standing here in a semi-wide shot. I think that's actually slightly big. Something like that. Fairly centered in the scene. Okay. And I'm seeing, and I don't have any Futurama reference in front of me, so I'm just gonna sketch it in for the moment. Zoidberg. Okay, so Hermes. I've got to get their relative heights correct too, by the way. But Hermes, obviously he has glasses. So I think their heads are too large. Actually. I wonder if this works. No. Something about the tablet driver prevents the when I use the S key to move things around like this, I have to use the mouse. Okay, let's say Leela, Professor. Okay. And I guess I'll put Fry over here. Okay, because this is just it's kind of an introductory shot, and kind of the salient point here is big bootied contestants of various species are walking around. So okay. Okay, so kind of rethinking a little bit. I'm just gonna make it a little bigger. I think we'll center on Hermes. Okay. And this. So we've got to have. This is actually going to be a pretty detailed shot here, because what's really going on here, in my opinion, is they're kind of standing in front of the barrier, which this would open up and give you access up the bleachers. So basically, in the background, you still have to have like a fairly good crowd of people, and they're all basically standing around, getting ready to go find their seats, right? So, why I'm getting a little bit of lag. According to OBS, it's using. It's staying under 20% on its CPU usage, so that's good. Okay, so he's gonna have his hands out and sweet freedom. And okay, yeah, so there's a very large Omicronian shoe that he's holding on to, and he's gonna. Okay, I really should get some visual reference on the Futurama characters because I'm definitely stretching here. Sweet freedom, Professor. Okay, so I'm gonna say when this goes to this shot, I'm gonna say that Leela is here and Professor Farnsworth is here. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some poor performance going on, and I'm totally blaming it on OBS. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep rocking with this. We'll take this. I'm just feeling like when Leela says her line, we probably want to be a little bit zoomed in, which means that Hermes is right here, and we'll put Zoidberg right next to him. So technically a little bit closer than they were a moment ago. Take these guys and maybe scale them down just a little bit. Okay, so now one question is whether this is actually appropriate to jump to the close-up if Zap's going to be walking in from off screen. So let's just put him in his slippers, and we'll kind of... Okay, so you can see a major problem right there with our character scale. You know, because we got our sizes wrong. But, you know, like I said, we're just kind of figuring this out as we go. So let's just say when Zap comes in, he's going to be here, and then he'll have probably Kif beside him. So we'll just kind of add a little bit of green to represent Kif. So I think what I'm thinking is if I'm going to jump to a close-up, then let's just let it be their shot, and then we'll cut back to wide when the professor says so many questions. Okay, with that, I would say ah, sweet freedom and the food. Leela jumps to Leela. Professor, blah 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 blah. And we'll go D to duplicate this and stick that there so it jumps back to the wide shot after the close-up, and then that's when Zap comes in. So here we actually could, you know, if we really want to be technical about it, we could actually remove Zap here and leave him in here. That's really about it, guys. That's the shot. So now what we need to do is get some Futurama reference. So let's see. I'm going to look up yonder and see what I have on my hard drive. Okay, so it looks like I have season 4. I wonder what the properties of that are for. Oh, that's not good. That links to a location that doesn't exist. Anime Futurama. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to. I'm actually gonna pick a random episode. I'm gonna go to season 6, episode 21, just to see what happens. Okay, and now I'm gonna throw this onto a different window. Okay, that's just so I can remember what these guys look like. Okay, so let's just go to the color blue and start doodling. Okay, so what's actually going on here, zip. Okay. That's pretty good. Looks like Leela's got a pretty small ear. And her ponytail comes back quite a ways from her. Well, I was trying to say is that it's up higher here than the peak of her hairline. Okay, let's crank on the eraser here for a second. Boom, boom. Yeah, I'll make that a little bigger. And then we're going to have that. And what is her line? She's like, I must know. After all that, how did you convince the Omicronians to still let Bender enter the contest and possibly regain our freedom? Ah, so many questions. Alright. Okay. And I seem to be making a lot of noises here. Like I'm saying, okay, let's see. She's got a little bit of a pink thing going on her lips, so just because I'm feeling frisky, I'm gonna go ahead and the lips like that. Okay, that's interesting. Performance has degraded to such a point that it's not even drawing the lines. I don't know if you would actually see her eyebrow there. I'm not sure about that one. Geez, she wears about the same thing that Akari's been wearing in the scenes I've been doing on the anime. Well, there's the postman. Alright, so just because, for lack of a better idea, I'm gonna make her hand about as simple as I can. And boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I need a reference for... Oh, wow. Here's a great reference for the wide shot. Cool beans. Boy, I should carpe diem here and seize the day and use that reference. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So I definitely made her eye too big on that shot. Okay. Bender appears to be slightly shorter than Fry. Zoidberg and Fry are about the same height, actually. Golly, I do not like the way the performance is bogging down. But that's okay. We're going to deal with it. He's saying, ah, sweet freedom. So what do we got here? We got Bender just kind of taking up space, frankly. Watch her. I wonder if, I'm actually curious if a standard tunes raster level would be performing better. Unfortunately, every still frame of Leela that I'm able to pull up just happens to have her oriented in the complete opposite direction that I need. So I'm having to flip her in my mind, which if you guys have followed my channel for very long, you know there's nothing I'm worse at than flipping things in my mind because I'm mildly dyslexic, so everything kind of sort of doesn't flip very well. Okay. Golly, look at the performance. And what's maddening is OBS is only using 23% of CPU. Now, if it was manually relegated through the task manager to only use a certain number of CPUs, that probably would improve things from a performance standpoint. So I'm just jumping around trying to just happen to find a shot that works. I'm going to jump to this now. I just found a Farnsworth that's basically perfect. So boom, 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 boom. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, glasses are slightly too small here. Alright, need more prominent reflection. Okay, that's pretty good. We're not actually trying to block in the animation at this point. Just figure out what the key poses are. But like I said, the performance here is atrocious. My marker's really lagging. And unfortunately, it appears that might be the price I have to pay to be able to create a YouTube video at all. Pretty frustrating considering this is a 12-core machine with like 32 gigs of RAM. It's extremely powerful computer. How software is able to always bring the hardware completely to its knees just has never ceased to amaze me, because it hasn't changed in 30 years. It was like this 30 years ago. It's like it today. Crazy. Crazy, man. See, look at that. I'm drawing and nothing's happening until I slow down and let the system catch up. It could be a Could be a driver issue, I suppose. But I gotta say, the XP Pen drivers are pretty darn good. Okay, let's save all. And the result of that should be that the anime Futurama, let's just kind of see what happens here. Let's just check. Futurama extras, there's the scene, and yeah, so we're seeing all these TIFF files, and we can prove it. So yeah, that's cool. That's what we wanted. Things are getting a little more under control now in terms of file management. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little modification here, hitting the control key. Yeah, just a little tweak. Alright, so the arrows indicate slight push in there. Here's the gang all hanging around. The dialogue, and then back to the gang, and Zap is going to walk into frame. Well, which by the way does suggest that probably we want to take this whole thing and just shift it over like so. That makes a little more sense. So it's structurally the same shot, but we got a little bit of a better framing. So here the point obviously is getting Zap and Kif into the shot, whereas here the point is and let's just grab kind of a different color here. Here the point is that we're going to have various creatures that are kind of moving in and out of the scene. So I'm going to make this one a giraffe creature that has a very prominent booty. Okay, so we want to make stuff as basically as silly as possible. We'll give it extra arms, like as if it was part of an Edgar Rice Burroughs Mars novel. And just for kicks and giggles, we'll assume it's going to look more or less female. Right? Yeah, so this is the idea is, per the script, there's the gang of idiots are standing around as big-bootied contestants of various species walk about. So we're just putting in various aliens, and really what they should have is kind of a some sort of you know, what do you call that thing that beauty contest contestants wear? It's kind of a that's draped around them, has the name of maybe their state that they're from or something of that nature. Okay, so there's that. Cuts to close. Kind of an out of focus background situation. And then we'll cut to here, and Zap will come into frame. And then presumably we'll probably cut to close again when it jumps to dialogue. So, what are we doing on time? Boy, almost half an hour. Wow. Okay. Alright, so the only thing I'm really kind of having a little problem with here would be Leela. So I'm looking for some reference. Come on, give me some Leela reference, will you please? Looks like I'm going to have to try to find a different episode. So, thank you guys for bearing with me. Okay. Desktop audio. Can you hear
On
that?
this filth.
Oh, you can hear that. That's not supposed to be on. Turning that down. Check, check, check. Okay, yeah. All right, so what I'm doing right now is just scanning through, trying to find one shot, just one, of Leela where she's actually facing the right direction. Every single, I've seen like 50 shots. Every single one of them, she's facing left. Oh, there's one where she's facing right. Okay, okay. I see what's going on. Cool. I'll fix this, and then we'll probably call it good for the moment. Okay, so it's got to be more of a straight oval. It looks like her lashes are only on the up side, and probably want to be a little more meticulous here about the shape of the mouth. So this shape I'm drawing right now, you see a lot in Futurama. And in the screenshot that I'm looking at, they're just coloring in her inside of her mouth black, and that's that. So let's see if we can yeah, this is a little problematic as well. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward, frankly, to ending this video because I definitely want to explore some of my settings on OBS and see if I can get the performance a little better. I mean, look at that. Chop, 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 chop. Horrible. Okay, there's that. And just again scanning through. Trying to find a close-up. Please let me have a close-up, close-up, close-up of Leela. You know, it's funny. It seems like there's actually quite a lot of episodes that I've never watched. Pretty weird. So, patience, people. Sorry. I'm just scanning through. I think I've actually got her pretty close. The only thing I'm probably still missing here, or could be improved, I suppose, however you want to put it, Beaky, is her ponytail. It's actually a little cleaner. I made it a little too rough. And then one thing with Leela as well, sometimes they kind of show her teeth more. So we'll just kind of indicate that. But okay, I think that's good for now. That's good for now. Establishing shot. Blah, blah, blah. A little bit of dialogue. And then Zap arrives. So let's call it good. It's been a half an hour. And hopefully we can just keep slowly rocking away at this. And come up with something that will be quite cool and funny when it's all said and done. All right, so you guys know it. There will be more later.